Cholesterol has quietly become one of the most misunderstood markers of health in the modern world. Many people hear the word and immediately think of danger, medication, and strict food restrictions, but the reality is far more nuanced. Your body actually needs cholesterol to function. It builds hormones, supports brain health, and helps form the very cells that keep you alive. The problem is not cholesterol itself, but how it behaves inside your body over time, especially when influenced by lifestyle choices that seem harmless on the surface. When doctors talk about lowering cholesterol, they are usually referring to LDL, often labeled as bad cholesterol. But even that term can be misleading. LDL is not inherently bad. It becomes dangerous when it is oxidized or present in high amounts in the bloodstream for too long. Think of it less like a villain and more like a delivery truck. Its job is to carry cholesterol to where your body needs it. The issue begins when there are too many trucks on the road and they start crashing into the walls of your arteries, causing damage that slowly builds into something serious. Now, here is where things become interesting. Many people assume that the only way to reduce LDL significantly is through medication, particularly statins. While these drugs can be effective, they are not the only option. In fact, research over the past 2 decades has shown that lifestyle changes, when applied correctly and consistently, can reduce LDL cholesterol by up to 30% or more. That number is not hypothetical. It is backed by clinical studies, long-term observations, and real patient outcomes. The key phrase here is when applied correctly. Most people try to improve their cholesterol by making small, scattered changes. They might switch from butter to margarine, eat a salad once in a while, or go for a walk twice a week. While these efforts are not harmful, they are usually not enough to create a measurable shift. Lowering cholesterol naturally requires a more strategic approach, one that targets multiple pathways in the body at the same time. The first major factor to understand is diet, but not in the way you have been told. For years, people were advised to simply avoid fat, especially saturated fat. This led to the rise of low-fat products that were often loaded with sugar and refined carbohydrates. Ironically, this shift may have worsened cholesterol profiles for many individuals. When you consume high amounts of refined carbs, your body increases the production of triglycerides and small, dense LDL particles, which are more likely to penetrate artery walls and contribute to plaque buildup. Instead of fearing fat, the focus should be on the type and quality of food you eat. Whole, unprocessed foods have a dramatically different effect on your body compared to packaged, refined options. For example, replacing refined grains with whole grains like oats, barley, and brown rice can significantly improve cholesterol levels. Oats in particular contain beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber that binds to cholesterol in the digestive system and helps remove it from the body. Studies have shown that consuming just a few grams of this fiber daily can lead to measurable reductions in LDL. Fiber in general is one of the most powerful tools you have. Most people do not get nearly enough of it. Soluble fiber, found in foods like beans, lentils, apples, and flax seeds, acts like a sponge in your gut. It traps cholesterol and prevents it from being absorbed into your bloodstream. Over time, this creates a deficit, forcing your body to pull cholesterol from the blood to maintain balance, effectively lowering your LDL levels. But diet is only one piece of the puzzle. Physical activity plays an equally important role, and not just because it burns calories. Exercise directly influences how your body processes fats and sugars. Regular movement increases the activity of enzymes that help transport LDL particles out of the bloodstream and into the liver, where they can be broken down and eliminated. It also raises HDL, often called good cholesterol, which acts like a cleanup crew, removing excess cholesterol from your arteries. The type of exercise matters less than consistency. You do not need to become a marathon runner or spend hours in the gym. Even moderate activities like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming can produce significant benefits if done regularly. What matters is that your body is moving frequently enough to activate these protective mechanisms. In fact, studies have shown that individuals who engage in moderate exercise for at least 150 minutes per week can see noticeable improvements in their cholesterol profiles within a few months. Another factor that often goes unnoticed is body weight, particularly the distribution of fat. Excess fat around the abdomen is strongly linked to higher LDL levels and lower HDL levels. This type of fat is metabolically active, meaning it releases substances that promote inflammation and disrupt normal lipid metabolism. Losing even a small percentage of your body weight, around 5 to 10%, can lead to meaningful changes in cholesterol levels. This is not about achieving a perfect body. It is about reducing the burden on your metabolic system. Sleep is another powerful but underestimated factor. Poor sleep disrupts hormonal balance, increases stress hormones like cortisol, and can lead to unhealthy eating patterns. All of these effects contribute to higher cholesterol levels over time. People who consistently get less than 6 hours of sleep per night are more likely to have unfavorable lipid profiles compared to those who get adequate rest. Improving sleep quality can therefore have a direct and indirect impact on your cholesterol. Stress itself is a major contributor as well. When you are under chronic stress, your body remains in a heightened state of alertness. This triggers the release of hormones that can increase blood sugar and alter lipid metabolism. Over time, this creates an environment where cholesterol levels rise and inflammation becomes more pronounced. Managing stress is not just about feeling better mentally, it has tangible effects on your physical health. Techniques such as mindfulness, deep breathing, and even simple daily routines can help regulate your stress response. You do not need to meditate for hours. Even a few minutes of intentional breathing or a short walk in a quiet environment can shift your nervous system from a state of tension to one of recovery. These small changes, when practiced consistently, can influence your body's internal chemistry in meaningful ways. One of the most overlooked contributors to high cholesterol is sugar. While fat has long been blamed, excessive sugar intake plays a significant role in disrupting lipid balance. When you consume high amounts of sugar, especially in the form of sugary drinks and processed foods, your liver converts the excess into fat. This increases triglycerides and promotes the formation of harmful LDL particles. Reducing sugar intake is therefore a critical step in improving your cholesterol profile. Alcohol consumption also deserves attention. Moderate alcohol intake may have some protective effects, but excessive consumption can raise triglycerides and contribute to weight gain, both of which negatively impact cholesterol. Being mindful of how much and how often you drink can make a difference. There is also growing evidence supporting the role of specific foods and nutrients in lowering cholesterol. Nuts, for example, are rich in healthy fats, fiber, and plant sterols, all of which contribute to improved lipid levels. Regular consumption of almonds, walnuts, or pistachios has been associated with lower LDL levels in multiple studies. Similarly, fatty fish like salmon and mackerel provide omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce triglycerides and support overall heart health. Plant sterols and stanols, naturally found in small amounts in many fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, can also help block the absorption of cholesterol in the intestines. Some fortified foods contain higher levels of these compounds and can be incorporated into a balanced diet. What makes all of this powerful is not any single change, but the combination of multiple strategies working together. Each adjustment you make, whether it is increasing fiber intake, moving more, improving sleep, or reducing sugar, adds another layer of protection. When combined, these changes can produce results that rival, and in some cases exceed, the effects of medication. However, it is important to approach this with patience and realism. Natural methods do not produce overnight results. Your body needs time to adapt, repair, and rebalance. The process may take several weeks or months, but the benefits extend far beyond cholesterol. You are improving your overall metabolic health, reducing inflammation, and building habits that support long-term well-being. There is also a psychological shift that occurs when you take control of your health in this way. Instead of relying solely on external interventions, you begin to understand how your daily choices influence your body. This awareness can be empowering and can lead to more consistent and sustainable behavior over time. At the same time, it is important to recognize that not everyone will respond in the same way. Genetics play a role in cholesterol levels, and some individuals may require medication despite their best efforts. The goal is not to reject medical treatment, but to explore all available options and use them wisely. For many people, lifestyle changes can reduce the need for medication or enhance its effectiveness. The idea that you can lower your cholesterol by 30% without medication is not a myth or an exaggeration. It is a reflection of how adaptable and responsive your body can be when given the right conditions. The challenge lies not in the science, but in the execution. It requires consistency, awareness, and a willingness to change habits that may have been in place for years. As you begin to apply these principles, you may notice changes beyond your lab results. Your energy levels may improve, your digestion may become more regular, and your overall sense of well-being may increase. These are signs that your body is moving in the right direction, even before the numbers fully reflect it. The journey to lower cholesterol naturally is not about perfection. It is about making better choices more often and understanding the cumulative effect of those choices over time. Every meal, every step, and every hour of sleep contributes to the bigger picture. When these elements align, the results can be both significant and lasting. And perhaps the most important takeaway is this: your health is not determined by a single number on a lab report. Cholesterol is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. By focusing on the underlying factors that influence it, you are not just lowering a number, you are transforming the environment in which your body operates, creating conditions that support long-term health and resilience.